Over 1 year ago, I uploaded my first video to this channel, a review of Super Mario Land. After making that, I intended to cover the sequel. However, I never got around to it. I had both the audio and the gameplay recorded, but I never actually edited it, so I decided it's finally time to revisit Super Mario Land 2, over a year later. New gameplay, improved script, and hopefully a much better video. With that said, let's hop right into Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. The story goes that while Mario was off saving Daisy in Saros Land, Wario came and took over his castle that he apparently owns. I mean, he has to spend his coins on something. To get his castle back, Mario must obtain the 6 golden coins in the title and go and confront Wario. If you remember my review of the original Mario Land, you'll recall that I wasn't the biggest fan of it. The game was too short, weirdly difficult, and the physics made it just not very fun to play. With 3 years to learn how to make a good Game Boy game, let's see how the sequel improves. Immediately after pressing start, we can already see one huge improvement over the original, a file select. This means that you won't have to beat the game one sitting, which is just a great quality of life improvement. After choosing a file, we're thrust into the first level, which is most certainly a first level, introducing you to the physics of the game, which I'll get to later, as well as showing some level design that'll pop up in the future, like hidden coin rooms and whatnot. It's really easy, so you should get through it no problem. We're then presented with the world map, with 6 different zones to go to, each of which has a handful of levels in it, and a boss. If I talked about every level there was, this video would be an hour long, so let's go through each zone and point out any outstanding levels. The first zone I traveled to was Tree Zone. This area has to climb up a tree within the levels, traveling from the roots through the trunk and a beehive, and finishing with a boss at the top. All the enemies fit the theme as well. You'll be fighting bees, bugs, and birds in this zone, and platforming across branches and leaves. This feels like the first zone you're supposed to go to, as it is significantly easier than the others. On the subject of easy, let's talk about Mario Land 2's new power-up, the bunny ears. Remember the Tanuki tail from Mario 3? Remember how you could glide for a little bit with it? Well, what if you could just glide 9 indefinitely? The answer is, you can just skip over about 3/4 of a level. The bunny ears are easily the best option for power-ups in this game, but then again, there is only one other one. The boss of this zone is a giant bird, and I honestly just feel bad defeating him, because he doesn't put up anything close to a good fight. Up next is Space Zone, easily the oddest in the game. Just getting there is weird enough, as you need to complete a level in which you ride around in a bubble created by a stone hippo. The level is, shall we say, easily exploitable. Space Zone itself has a measly 2 levels, but they're both pretty good. The first one is set on the moon with low gravity and space enemies like aliens and, Apollo spacecraft. Anyways, the other level is the only one that anyone ever remembers, basically acting like a water level in space, with some jammin' tunes to boot. The boss is actually Taranga, the final boss from Mario Land 1. I guess he was working with Wario the whole time. Anyways, this guy would be really easy, but for some reason the hitbox to actually jump on him is ridiculously small. Like something's just laying directly on top of him only to take damage. With a bit of trial and error, you should be able to take him down. Up next is Macro Zone. This world takes place inside of a big house, so you'll start outside and slowly work your way through the house. Sadly, most of the enemies are reused from Tree Zone, and the whole zone is a tad forgettable overall. There's nothing that really stands out in this area. The boss is pretty cool though, being some big ol' rat who goes through pipes to hit you. He's one of the more difficult ones, but that still isn't saying much. Turtle Zone is your classic water world, but it's one of the better ones I've played. The zone takes place inside of a giant turtle, so naturally, the first level is, an outdoors water level. The level's only half water, which means it's only half bad. The next level is a flooded submarine designed as a maze, which actually works pretty well for a water level. There are almost always goodies at any dead end, so it doesn't feel like you're wasting your time. The last level is a whale inside a turtle. The level has you jumping across organs, like Bowser's Inside Story. There's barely any water in it, so it's also pretty fun. And the boss is an octopus inside a pot, inside a whale, inside a turtle. He's also unbelievably easy. Pumpkin Zone is a spooky level. Ooh. As far as pure level design goes, it's one of my favorites. The levels are just really fun to play. I had a great time platforming through all of them. And the enemies here are even thematically fitting. The Goombas wear hockey masks, boos are floating around, and you even got to fight Dracula himself. Not as the boss though, he just goes down one hit. The actual boss is some witch who's really easy. At this point you may be noticing a trend with the bosses, all of them being easy. Sadly, it's not just the bosses that are like this. Super Mario Land 2 is just a really easy game. There are very few areas that will pose a real threat to the player, and most of my deaths were just me being stupid. That's not even mentioning the bunny hood, which can let you skip over any part that would normally be challenging. I think this is actually the easiest the Mario game has been, even more so than the new Super Mario Bros. Series, which is really saying something. Last but not least is Mario Zone, because apparently Mario is so egotistical, he needs a giant robot of himself not even 2 kilometers away from his castle. The zone is filled with cannons, gears, Legos, and other things you find in a robot. The second level of the zone takes place in Mario's crotch, and the level is filled to the brim with balls. So Nintendo has a sick sense of humor. The final boss of the area are, naturally, the 3 little pigs. Man, the first time I played through this game, I really struggled with this, guys. I know just that every boss was easy, but these guys have 9 hits and move unpredictably, so I can understand how I had trouble. This time, however, I had the Fire Flower, so it was far from a problem. Beating them gives me a 6 golden coin. Before I take on Wario, there's some miscellaneous things I gotta go over. Firstly, I didn't know where to fit this in, so here we are. For some ungodly reason, if you pick up a mushroom while I have a carrot or a Fire Flower, you lose that in favor of your mushroom. Why? This actually brings me nicely into the next thing here. Bonus games. If you hit the bell at the end of a level, you'll be brought to one of 2 bonus games. The one with the rats is basically complete luck, but the conveyor belt. Here's the strat. Wait till the second Fire Flower is at the end, and then activate the claw. You'll always get a 3-up, and this is easily the fastest way to farm for lives in the game. Not that you'll need them. Speaking of lives, you may have noticed my coin counter throughout the video. Rather than giving you a life of 100 coins, Mario Land 2 has one of the best video game mechanics. Gambling. You can put coins into a slot machine for a chance of getting some lives. I maxed out the counter and spent them all at once, and ended up getting 20 lives, over twice what I would have got with the old system. Not bad, but for some reason you can get 50 from the slot machine. I don't know why you would ever need 50 lives in this game, but you sure can get them. Anyways, with 40 some odd lives, let's go confront Wario. I've said a couple times throughout this video that Mario Land 2 is an easy game, not too challenging or anything. That all falls apart at this level. Wario's castle is a dictionary definition of a gauntlet. It is by far the hardest and longest level in the game. You wanna know what you gotta do this level? I'll tell you. Grab the mushroom, duck under this ball, jump over this ball, dodge the prone plants, land this stupid jump, dodge more plants, probably hit this ball since it'll be off screen, go through the pipe. Walk under this plant, get the mushroom, duck on this stupid platform, jump on this stupid platform, duck and jump on this stupid platform, desperately trying to slip off this stupid platform, dodge pressure plates for the fists, make these really tight jumps on crumbling platforms, get another mushroom, make a bunch of small jumps on falling platforms, run through this room which is no threat, fight a weird Wario ball, fight 2 weird Wario balls, fight another 2 weird Wario balls, get a Fire Flower for the boss fight. And if you fail at any point during that, which is really easy with all the instant death pits, it's back to square one. Talk about a difficulty spike. And then confront the big man himself, and surprise surprise, he's really easy. Sure, he has 3 faces, but he gives you power-ups in between those faces, and one of those is bunny ears, so he should go down fairly easy. After beating Wario, he jumps off the castle with Mario following closely behind. And we see the castle's architecture miraculously change before our eyes as the credits roll. Well, that was Super Mario Land 2, 6 golden coins. I really enjoyed my time with this game. Sure, it's really easy up until the end, where it's really hard, but all those easy levels are loads of fun. There's tons of secrets to be found, Mario's nice to control, especially with the bunny hood, and the game generally looks and sounds really nice. Is it an improvement over the original? Absolutely, in every way. In fact, it's one of my favorite Mario games in general. Not quite as good as the 3D games, but I'd say it's about as good as Bros 3 or World. Definitely check this one out. With that said, thanks for watching. I know I really should have made this video sooner, but I hope you like it anyways. If you did, consider subscribing. It helps me out a lot, and you can always unsub if you change your mind. And maybe if this video does well, I'll cover Mario Land 3. We'll just wait and see. Thanks for watching.